Welcome to Bonesaw Poker. This is Brad, and in this video we're going to compare pocket pairs versus suited connectors. Let's go. What gives pocket pairs their value? This may sound like a weird question. Let's break it down. One way they have value is that they are automatically a made hand post flop. A made hand is any hand that contains at least one pair. The second thing that gives them value, you could argue that it's relative value, is the stack to pot ratio. Yep, here we go again with SPR. In case you haven't noticed in my videos that SPR keeps popping up over and over again. That's because SPR is a main concept in poker. The lower the SPR, the more value a pocket pair has. This concept comes from tournament poker. In tournaments, the average stack size continues to go down. When you start getting deep into a tournament, the average stack size will be under 35 big blinds. With small stacks, we automatically have low SPRs, which in turn gives the pocket pairs more value. That's why everyone shoves with pocket pairs. It's based on SPR. However, players have conflated tournament poker with cash games. Cash game players are overvaluing pocket pairs post-flop with large SPRs. If you have watched my SPR video, then you will know that we need bigger hands post-flop with bigger SPRs to get stacks in or to bet larger in general. The typical stack size in cash games is 100 big blinds. In single raised pots, the SPR is still high when the flop rolls out. Too many players get it all in with just a pair post-flop. This is a mistake. But players will say, well, for 100 big blinds, I'm never folding top pair or an overpair. Well, use SPR to guide you. Granted, 3-bet pots shrink the SPR, which will give the pocket pairs a bit more strength. But conversely, when you get even more deeper with the other players, then pocket pair strength shrinks even more. Suited connectors. What gives them value? Well, their ability to make a 5-card hand. Keep in mind that a pocket pair will flop a set 12% of the time. More often than not, you only have a 1-pair hand at showdown. So who is putting stacks in with you on the river who can't beat top pair or an overpair? Nobody. Suited connectors need more stack depth to play profitably. That's why in tournaments, pocket pairs outperform suited connectors. On the flip side, the deeper starting stacks, which directly affects SPR, suited connectors have more value. Do you ever watch high stakes poker? Ever notice they play a lot of speculative hands pre-flop? In high stakes games, they are buying in for 500 to 1,000 big blinds. Making a big hand is important. Unless you get it in pre-flop or go to the flop after a 4-bet or a 5-bet, pocket pairs don't hold much value. That is one reason they play so wide pre-flop. When you double up at your table, you need to pay attention to who else is deep with you. Play more speculative hands with them, doubling up from 100 big blinds to 200 big blinds, and then getting stacks in with another 200 big blind stack is where the huge sessions occur. It is my belief that in cash games that have most or all of the players playing with at least 100 big blinds, then the pocket pairs shrink in value and the suited connectors increase in value. Too many players put too many chips in the middle with pocket pairs. All you have is one pair. At showdown, you will most likely have a 1-pair hand. Remember that in live 1-2 cash games that most players are not putting in chunks of money or all of a sudden getting aggressive in a hand unless they can beat top pair or an overpair. There's an old saying, it's hard to make a pair in poker. While this is a true statement, keep in mind that nobody's calling you're all in on the river with bottom pair. They're calling with a 2-pair plus hand. 1-pair hands win small pots, lose big pots. The bigger the stacks, SPR, the better the hand needs to be. In multi-way pots, this is even more pronounced. Flopping second pair in a multi-way pot is a drawing hand at best, which should tell you that your pocket nines are not a huge hand. The main focus of this discussion is to stop putting so much emphasis on pocket pairs. Set mine with them. The reason you keep seeing ace-ace and king-king getting cracked in low stakes is because the flop probably went multi-way, which decreases the value of those hands tremendously. If you can't get a heads up with those hands, then proceed carefully. Suited connectors either hit the flop or they don't. You're hoping to flop a big draw or two pair or trips, and occasionally you'll flop the 5-card hand, which is nice. These hands have potential for stacks. I'm sure there'll be plenty of players who disagree with me on this concept. That's fine. Agree or disagree. Either way, we are thinking deeper on different topics, and that's where growth occurs. For Bonesaw Poker, this is Brad. Thanks for watching, and remember, everything you want is on the other side of fear.